Are you ready? Okay. So guys, the biggest change that has come up in CFA almost since its inception back in, I think 1963, is the major changes that they're making right now. So in this video, I'm going to talk about all the changes that are covered. There are 6 major changes, and I know that it's caused a lot of uncertainty in students. I know a lot of arts and engineering students from India who don't have any pre-finance knowledge are the ones who are most in distress. The way the body has made these changes, everyone will be more or less on the same level when they start level 1. So with that, I'm going to get into the details. As always, if there is anything that you would like us to cover over and above this, please leave it in the comments. So to begin with, let me just summarize, right? There are 6 major changes that are taking place with CFA this time. So they are: number 1, eligibility. Second is the introduction of practical skill module. Third is the curriculum itself. Fourth, there are optional practice packs, which I'll be explaining in a bit. Fifth is the specialization for level 3 candidates. And finally, digital badges. So what are these 6 changes and how many of them really affect you? So let me get into the first one, eligibility. You might know that there has been some change when it comes to the eligibility of level 1 students. So let me just clear the air and make it very simple for you guys. Point number 1 is, earlier, CFA would only allow people who are in their final year of graduation to give the exam, which means if you're a commerce student, you can only give it in your TY, but you register for the exam in your SY. And now that rule has been amended, right? It is 23 months before your graduation when you can actually give the exam. So if you're a BCom or a BBA or a BAF, BMS, BFM student in India right now, and it's a 3-year graduation, you can actually register and study in your first year, give the exam of level 1 in your second year. If you are an engineering student where you have 4 years of bachelor's, or under the new rules, even a commerce student who now has a 4-year graduation, the same rule applies 23 months prior. So you will study and register in the second year, appear for level 1 in your third year. This applies as a new rule across the country, across the world. So this is change number 1. Remember that you can only appear for any level, any exam, the same level, twice in a year. So if you by any chance don't clear level 1, even though the exams every quarter, you'll only be able to give it twice. And the maximum number of attempts you can give for any particular level is 6. Again, the one change which has not occurred is that to appear for level 2, you will have the graduation degree with you. Once you have the degree is when you can apply for level 2. So there will be a gap for a lot of students between the time they give level 1, which is in your second last year of graduation, and you appear for level 2, which will be post getting the degree in your hand. Okay, next, the introduction of practical skill module. Now, this is one of the bigger changes, and it's basically CFA Institute's continuous effort to try and ensure that we bridge the gap between academics and being industry ready. The industry is wanting the CFA candidates who they hire to sort of be ready as soon as they join the company as a fresher. So in an effort to reach there, what they're trying to do is they're trying to introduce modules that a CFA candidate should be aware about that can help them in the practical world, but is not included in the curriculum. As an example, in level 1, the topics are financial modeling and Python programming, which, by the way, for a lot of especially arts and commerce students, learning the basics of Python is going to be, it's anyways a skill which is becoming more and more mandatory. So I'm sure that it's going to make a good enough difference to a lot of you guys. And in level 2, there are 3 other modules that you can pick from. One is again Python, in case you didn't pick it at level 1 and you just chose financial modeling. The other is analyst skills, and the third is Python, data science, and AI. So these are the modules that are available. Now, the few criteria on this model, right? Number 1, these are not part of your exam. So you'll have to give these exams, these modules before or after level 1, and again before or after level 2. You have to ensure it takes around 10 to 15 hours to go through. There are videos, there are case studies, there are questions. So you go through it. I answer these questions. It does not affect my grade, or rather my passing of level 1 or level 2. All of this can be accessed through your CFA account online. And just for you guys, in case you give, let's say you completed level 1, you give the exam and you started giving the practical skill module for level 1. In case you don't clear level 1, it's still counted with respect to the practical skill module. The same thing applies for level 2. For level 3, they have yet not started it. It's under consideration. So for level 1, it starts in February of 24, and for level 2, it starts in August of 24. Okay, point number 3, the changes in the curriculum. Now, first of all, this is only for level 1. There are no changes that have been confirmed for level 2 and level 3. So actually, the better word than changes would be reduction in curriculum. What CFA is doing is they're removing a few topics, 4 topics, which again, as a confirmed as of now, more will be confirmed in May of 2023. But the 4 topics that they removed right now, it's come from data and statistics that are telling them that all the existing CFA candidates have not really benefited as in any form by having these few topics as the base in level 1. So the body said, let's just remove it. Let's just put the most important aspects in level 1 and keep them, have the candidates trained on them. Either most of the candidates have covered these few topics in their graduation. So if you're again a commerce student, you would have covered these topics like time value of money. If not, if you're an engineering or an arts student and you are a little nervous about how do you pick it up, don't worry. The body is ensuring that when you register, the notes that they provide, we'll call them pre-learning, right? These pre-learning notes have these topics. So whether it's a past candidate or you guys who are going to be appearing for CFA in the future, there should be no difference because you can go through this pre-learning curriculum and be as ready as anybody who would have covered it in their graduation. These changes are going to be taking place from February 2024, and the standard number of hours that the body is recommending us to study, that is also remaining the same in spite of these changes. So before we move ahead, guys, I know that this is a slightly longer video and it's an important each point is quite crucial. So let me just summarize first of all what all we've covered so far. The 3 major changes, one on eligibility, second on the introduction of practical skill module, and the third one being on the changes in the curriculum or the reduction in curriculum for level 1. Point number 4, optional practice packs. Now this is quite interesting because what the body is trying to do is so far when you registered for level 1, you would get from the institute a specific set of 2000 questions and 2 mocks. And those 2 mocks also you can appear for 8 weeks prior to the exam. This was the maximum that they were giving us to prepare if you were only studying from the institute notes. Now, to be purchased, right, at $299, so that's the cost of it, which comes to roughly 24,000 rupees approx. Now, why would anybody invest in this if you're self-studying specifically? First of all, CFA in its entire history has never released the exam papers, which means except for the students who sit in the exam, nobody really knows how the body actually prepares their question papers. In this, when you purchase this pack, you actually get an additional 1000 questions and 6 mocks, which are prepared by the same set of experts who actually set the CFA level 1 exam. So you're really going to get directly from the people who are going to test you these mocks and these questions. Over and above that, out of these 6 mocks, 1 mock is such which is going to give you a real exam experience. It's like a simulation where they make you appear for this mock as though you were really appearing for the CFA exam. For all of us who've grown up in India, it's like the prelims before your boards. It's a super practice round for everybody who is nervous. I think we at Zell have been anyways trying to do this since a long time, right? We ensure that there are additional questions and multiple mocks given in an exam environment to prepare our students who actually appear for level 1 before they go for the exam. So I know that it helps a lot. I know in our other courses also it's happening since a while. So this is definitely an improvement for people who are appearing for level 1. This has not been confirmed for level 2 and level 3. Point number 5, the CFA level 3 specialized pathways. So this is, I think, also something which is long overdue. As of right now, anybody who reaches level 3, all of us are giving the same exam, and up till now, the primary specialization in CFA level 3 was that of portfolio management. Earlier, as of right now, ask anybody what was the outcome or what is it that in level 3 you really study. It was generally considered as portfolio management. Now, CFA has introduced a few changes. They are saying that up to half, a little more than half, the curriculum is going to be sort of common for everybody who reaches level 3, what we call the core curriculum. And after that, you choose one of these 3 specializations. So the first one is, as always, considered as portfolio management. Point 2 is private wealth, and 3 is private markets. Private wealth and private market are decided by the body based on what they've understood are the most important choices by employers beyond portfolio management. For all of you who are worried, relax, this is going to be introduced in February of 2025. So if you are as of right now registering for even level 1, please go ahead, feel free. You have to make the choice right now. So let's say you just choose portfolio management, but you have the ability to change that to private wealth or private markets by the time you actually appear for that final exam. So for all of y'all who are worried about this specialization, don't be, the exam doesn't become any tougher. If you choose portfolio management and I choose private market, does not mean our scope really changes as such. The final certification of CFA, the final CFA charter, does not distinguish based on what is the specialization we chose. And if it's anything like our other qualifications, like for example, ACC also has a specialization at the end. I know that as long as you have a CFA charter, it will make very little difference when you actually go out into the real world, because it's good to have a specialization, but any which way is the core of level 1, level 2, and more than half of level 3 is any which way is the same. So you'll become a finance expert, you'll become an investment expert with a specialization in one of these three. And finally, digital badges. This is more of a kick that a lot of students are going to get, and it's a little more fun. It's not really affecting the way we study. So far, when people would study CFA, they'll complete level 1 and look out for a job, because you do get a better job than just a graduate if you're done with level 1, especially in boutique investment companies and so on and so forth. So we had to mention on our CV that we are level 1 cleared or level 2 cleared. And I also know a lot of people who are not charter holders but are saying that they've completed CFA level 3. So to counter this, what CFA as a body is trying to do is, it's a recognition badge, right? If I've completed level 1, now I won't have to just mention to the world I'm level 1. I'll be actually earning a badge from the institute which shows that I'm done with level 1. It demonstrates or displays to the market what my value is with this badge, and they do the same for level 2. This change is going to be taking place from this year, so hopefully a lot of you guys who are going to be level 1 cleared or even level 2 cleared can actually show off this badge. It's more like a bragging right, which I feel is pretty cool. It doesn't take away anything from the body or from you or from the employer's process with you, but it does highlight that, okay, you're not just slightly more recognized than just saying that I've cleared level 1. So as always, if there's anything else you would like us to cover, we've missed like I mentioned in the beginning, please leave it in the comments. If you're still waiting for a sign to get started, then this is it.